All right, Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution MR. It's been a long time since I've driven one of these things, and I hope it's just as loony as I remember it. These have always been crazy cars because they have like the most aggressive front-wheel drive base suspensions or chassis setup. Even it's an all-wheel drive car, I know that. And you know, but not being great at much else. Like, you drive this car on the road and you wonder why anybody would do it, and then you drive it hard on a track or hard on the road and you realize, oh yeah, that's why. So turn off stability control, trying to get the shifter into Sport Plus. 1, 2, 3, there we go. S Sport, not Sport Plus. So we've got a twin clutch. We've got what, close to 300 horsepower now. All-wheel drive, of course, 2-liter turbo, and this MR actually does not have the nice. Oh, this doesn't telescope either. That's a bit of a bummer. Have the nice buckets where basically these look like standard Lancer seats. So hopefully I'll be able to keep in place. I seem to recall the twin clutch actually being pretty good with how it controlled shifts. So I'm not going to shift it manually. If it becomes a problem, I will shift it manually. Man, it's going to hold first gear for that long. Cool. All right. Ah, yes, there's that boost that I know. Yep, I remember why the Evo's such a nutty car. It's coming back to me. I forgot how quickly you could turn this thing in. Yep, yep. This is a silly car. It tortures itself to rotate. You can hear the tires protesting as you turn in. It's like they don't want to do it, but the hardware is forcing them to do it. And there's a lot of sports car behaviors driving techniques that you have to forget when you drive this thing. You more or less beat on this car in order to get it around. Throttle all the time. Throw it in. Tires are making horrible noises, but when you throttle through, oh, it's come out way wide. When you apply the throttle, the car begins to rotate in a controllable way, not in a power slide way, but in a way that gets you set up for corner exit. So that's full throttle right there. Of course, it doesn't have a terrific amount of power on the straight, but it gets out of the corner fast. Oh, that poor front tire, that poor tire squeal. Oh, that just feels bad. And without the bucket seats, I'm flopping around a lot more. My knee's getting sore banging off the center console here, which I don't like that much. Let's try manual mode. Oh, yep. Not a lot of high RPM power. It seems to be mostly low range. This is a silly car. I keep calling it silly because how hard you can be on entry. You know, you just throw it in and you get a little bit of oversteer if you just stay committed to the steering. It's, you know, like a rally car. It's the way you want to imagine people drive rally cars. Where's that shifter? There it is. And you lift off, you get a decent amount of oversteer. Let's try a little flick. Too wide. That's silly. That feels wrong, but so right. I forgot, you can't counter steer. You don't want to counter steer. That's one of those sports cars driving habits that you have to forget. You just keep steering and keep adding throttle, and the car keeps turning, but it never spins. Of course, that's a really bad habit to learn if you drive sports cars more frequently. All right. Well, that was more fun than serious. I'll admit that. And this, it's kind of hard to not beat on these things when you drive them hard, because that seems to be what they want to do. You hear the awful tire noise, you feel the squeal, and you're just like, I'm just ruining these things. But that seems to be the way the car wants to be driven. You don't drive this thing smoothly. You don't drive it, you know, nice and gently. You beat on it. You drive it as hard as you can. Those little, you know, four-wheel drifts that the car seems to want to do are super fun, but they are just like, at the same time, you know, man, you are wearing some components. Yep, Evo is just as silly as I remembered it. Wish this had the bucket seats, because my knee is sore from banging it against the center console. That never feels good. And it's still, you know, it's a pretty fun car. It's a, yeah, I think the automotive landscape has changed quite a bit since this car came out, and this car has not changed with it. Most specifically, you know, the STI has gotten so much better. I've always preferred this car over the STI, but the recent iterations of the STI have been so good that you kind of think, why would you, you know, get an Evo? Considering all the downsides this car comes with, which is everything but the drivetrain. The drivetrain remains this car's selling point. The drivetrain and the chassis setup, because this is so aggressive on turn-in, and it just, you know, again, it just wants to be pushed, wants to be driven hard. And that's fun. That's really fun, but it's also kind of a one-trick pony in that sense. So it's always, you know, it's still an interesting car, still a crazy car, but oh, jeez.